So, missed opportunities can turn into a lot of wasted time. And there are some topics that come up when I'm talking with social workers about starting their private practice or business, and they're running into obstacles and barriers. And so, today in this video, I am going to cover five of the most popular barriers or holdbacks or drawbacks that I see social workers face when they decide to either start a clinical private practice or some other type of business. And so let's get right into it. Hi there, and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Michelle V. Scott, and I am a social worker turned entrepreneur. I help other social workers like yourself go from being overworked and underpaid to owning their entire 24 hours by helping them remove the frustration, overwhelm, and confusion associated with starting a private practice or business so they can feel at ease on their entrepreneurial journey as they gain more time freedom, career freedom, and financial freedom. In today's video, we are going to discuss five reasons why social workers miss their clinical private practice or business opportunity. And we are going to start with reason number one, which is imposter syndrome. So it really is like, I know that this is probably cliche. You hear a lot of people talk about this in the business world. If you watch videos here on YouTube, you hear a lot of business people talk about imposter syndrome. But my friend, it's real and I see it all the time. I mean, hell, I've experienced it firsthand. Like when I first went into business, and this is not my first business. I had another business prior to the COVID pandemic that I work with plus size chronic dieters who want to improve their relationship with fitness, nutrition, and other self care practices. And so I have a private coaching practice that went belly up, didn't really go belly up, but since it was private pay and COVID hit, my clients couldn't pay and it was a whole thing, right? Luckily, I had a pivot plan and I pivoted right into this business that I have right now, which the Social Work Entrepreneur Academy was born from that business idea. But working with clinicians in their private practice, imposter syndrome is like the number one thing that we run into, especially if they're outside of a clinical private practice. And so one of the ways that I help social workers start a business, because a lot of social workers are getting into this now, is through the use of digital courses or digital products. And so they might have a digital online business, right? And one of the things that we run into is when it's time to set the price for their digital product, they often say, I can't charge that. Or like, who's going to listen to me? And so my response to that is a lot of people, the same way you listen to people, the same way we come on YouTube and find content, we listen to people. And so if you have imposter syndrome, it is a natural feeling. I promise you, probably every person who is successful on YouTube or successful in some way at the very beginning thought, who the hell am I? Right? This is part of your mindset shift that has to happen. And we discussed mindset in this video right here on how to start your clinical private practice like a pro. And we also discussed mindset in this video right here and how to start your social work digital online business like a pro. And so imposter syndrome is definitely something that you're going to have to get past, and it will hold you back. The second thing that I see pop up for people is a limiting belief. So again, who the hell am I to be doing this? Who is going to listen to me? I don't have the skill set. I'm not smart enough. Like what makes me an expert? I had a clinician when I was working with her ask me, Michelle, what would make me an expert? And I'm like, what makes anybody an expert? Is time involved in the task? It's the skill set. It is understanding that there's a 10% edge. And so this is something that I learned from one of my mentors that I follow named Amy Porterfield. And she talks about your 10% edge and what that means. And all that means is that you need to know 10% more than your audience, right? Now, this is more applicable to clinicians or social workers who are starting a digital online business. Because in clinical private practice, our clients are well aware that we know more than they do. That's why they're coming for clinical services. But there's limiting beliefs even amongst clinicians who have clinical private practices as to what that practice can look like. Sometimes they're following what they've seen from other clinicians, but there are so many clinicians out there who are being very creative about their practices and the services they're offering and what they're doing inside of their business. And so having those limiting beliefs will hold you back from being creative and launching or trying something different and new. The third thing that I see a lot of are clinicians listening to naysayers. Now, you'll find naysayers in every shape, facet, and form. Some of them are going to be family, some of them are going to be friends, some of them are going to be coworkers, right? And you know why they're doing this. Family loves you and they are going to say, this is not the safest route, right? But as we see last year when COVID hit, 40 million Americans were out of their job. And so jobs aren't always safe anymore, right? And so you're going to hear these things. And this is why I tell people you have to figure out what works best for you. Sometimes it's best not to say anything until you're well into your entrepreneurial endeavor. You'll see this with the woman who started the Spanx brand. She kept it from her family for a long time. She kept it from her fiance for a while until they were about to get married. And she disclosed to them, hey, babe, I might be worth a little bit more money than you actually realize. And so I always find that story very interesting because she kept it very close to the cuff, because you will get a lot of people who are going to naysay about your future entrepreneurial endeavors, right? Entrepreneurship is a scary thing. It's risky. It's just as risky as getting a job, but risky in a different way, right? And so you're going to find a lot of people who want to potentially protect you from this potential failure. And that can definitely hold you back because these are people you love. And so you value their opinion. Now, you also realize that, or I hope you realize that some of the naysayers are saying it because they want to keep you in your place. They want to keep you with them. They're scared of movement. They have their own things holding them back. And if you show any signs of movement and them being left behind, that absolutely terrifies them. So they're going to want to hold you back. And so this is why it's important that until your business actually takes off or is doing well enough for you to say, or you figured enough things out to say, I've got this, you might want to keep it close to the cuff because there are going to be naysayers. The fourth item that I see quite a lot is clinicians or social workers being impatient. So they go into business and for some reason they think in a week they're supposed to blow up. I would love it if it worked that way. I've been doing this entrepreneur thing for 8 years, and it hasn't been until the past 2 or 3 years that it's really taken off. And one of the reasons being is because I waited that long to write a flipping business plan. So important to get your business plan out there, but that's a different video. We did talk about business plans in how to start your clinical private practice or online digital business like a pro. Again, you can check it out in those videos. But being impatient could potentially be the death of your business, because what I find is clinicians who are impatient give up really quickly when they don't see their business going the way they want it to, when they don't see the growth that they thought they wanted to or that they thought they would have. And really, it's about testing your business ideas, right? It's about testing things in your business to see what is going to work and what is not going to work. And that's why you have to do the business plan so you can capture what you've done and what you might do next. You don't want to go back and replicate things that didn't work. You don't want to try and keep that committed to memory because you're not going to be able to. And being patient with this process is more than half the battle. There's so many skills you have to learn. It's an ongoing process, right? And so just like you didn't become a clinician or right off the bat, right? You went to elementary school, and then you went to high school, and then you went to undergrad, and then you went to grad. So it was a process to even get you to your clinician status. Don't let the fact that your business is not blowing up the way you want it to set you back from continuing on in that business. I've seen clinicians give up on their entrepreneurial dreams only to see their friend who they started at the same time with 5 years in all of a sudden gain this momentum and start to see really great returns in their business. And they start to live a life that their friend who also started business with them only could dream about, but now they're 5 years lagging because they gave up. And so consistency is hugely important, and being patient in the process. And then lastly, the fifth thing that I see way too much of is listening to too many damn opinions. Get those people's opinions out of your ear. I'm telling you, opinions, they will crush things because you're going to have people with a lot of opinions, right? When it comes to entrepreneurship, it amazes me. So there's a few things that amaze me that people have a lot of opinions about. They have a lot of opinions about people's weight. They have a lot of opinions about whether or not married couples are going to have children right away. This is when they'll ask you, so when are you going to have kids? Which could be a sensitive topic if they are struggling to have children, right? So there are just people have opinions. If you think about us, we have opinions. I try not to share my opinions with people. I offload that to my daughter and my dude. Uh, but we all have opinions, right? And as you share your information or share your dream of entrepreneurship, you're going to get people who share those opinions, right? Again, this might go back to the naysayers. So they might not be naysayers, right? They might not be saying this is not going to work, but they might have opinions on things that you should do in your business, or how you should run your business, or what your business structure should look like based on theirs, if maybe they have a business, or what they know about business. And every business is different. Every person is different. And what works for you may not work for me. And what works for me may not work for you, right? And that's how this goes through. And so you have to be able to filter those opinions, because if you're getting wrapped up in listening to these opinions, you'll be all over the place and you won't get nothing done, right? And that is, again, time wasted. And when you're in business, there is time to perfect things over time, but there's no time to be wasted on nonsense that's not going to move your business forward. And listening to too many opinions is definitely going to be part of something that could potentially delay you starting your business, because you're going to be all over the place doing all of the things that are not pertinent to the type of business that you want to have. And so there you have it, the 5 reasons, or at least the 5 reasons that I have found that many social workers miss their private practice or business opportunity. If you like this video, please be sure to click the like button, subscribe, and then hit the bell notification so you are notified each time I release a new video. And also, I am hosting meet and greets. If you have any questions, please sign up for a meet and greet. The link is right below in the description box of this video. Until next time, this is your girl Michelle saying, stop waiting. The time is now. Start your private practice or business.